Day 60, Min beneath the trees, with a deep blue sky and a golden Gladistia turning in autumn, and a lot of traffic. Min's wings were tingling, almost as if they were singing. "It's all right, Min. You've done everything you can. Try to relax a bit. It will help you get through this last part," Flutter said soothingly. "Calm yourself. We're nearly done," Flick intoned. "Relax a bit? Calm yourself? This is so not the time to take a holiday, you two. I need directions, and I need them now." Min screamed at her two wings in her fear and frustration. Almost casually, Flick responded, "All right then, you'll do well to look behind you." Min spun around to catch sight of a flight of ember-hurling smoke twisters moving up fast on Otlin's tail. "Emberus!" Min yelled, jabbing a finger frantically behind her. "No time for the camouflage blanket," Fitlin shot back. In an instant, she was barking out instructions without hesitation. "Otlin, bank hard and head fast for the trees closest to Scarpel. The Emberus will follow us. The Radiants can bat their flame balls back at them. It's our best, maybe our only chance." "Agreed," she shouted at the other intuitors. Cassian, who was still entangled in layers of spinner's web, nodded his head emphatically. "Absolutely, Min." He managed to splutter through the sticky web still encasing his face. The rest nodded in frightened assent. Otlin responded, dipping his right wing to turn sharply and fly into the radiant forest. And now a train. The Emberus pursued his every twist and turn. For all Otlin's power and speed, they closed in fast, hurling flame balls with increasing accuracy at his back. A radiant close to the line of fire arched a limb and double-slammed two of the flaming balls back in the direction from which they'd been fired. One scored a direct hit, slicing off a whole section of the Emberus' spark-spewing limbs. The crippled Emberus lost control, cartwheeled into a burrow canal, hissed violently, and expired. Otlin turned sharply left. The pursuing Emberus, less maneuverable in the swift Megal, overshot. "Look at that!" Luster sang out. A radiant had just whacked one clean through the middle. It vaporized and vanished. "Fantastic! Keep it up, you brave fighters," Radiant bellowed, his eyes glistening. The Emberus regrouped, turned, and was soon on Otlin's tail again. Another fell to a radiant rebound, and two more collided and collapsed in a shower of flaming fragments. The remaining Emberus turned tail and retreated. A voice resounded through the forest. "Yes! Radiance 3, Emberus 0. We're fighting, Min." It was Gimlet. Min threw her arms in the air in a gesture of triumph. "Go, Gimlet," she roared back. The Glins were elated. "We're not out of trouble yet," Min gasped. "There's a Scurrilone ahead. If we fly into it, it will blow us into what's left of the Emberus. They'll be waiting to ambush us on the edge of the forest." "The Scurrilone's to the right of us, Min," Matilda responded. "Yes, so Otlin needs to traverse 3 sides of a square. Left, back out towards Micah, then right towards Scarpel, yes?" "As good a plan as any," Matilda said. "Phew," Fitlin gasped. "That was a close shave. But how are we going to get out of this one?" In front of them, a massive inferno span like a tornado in a clearing. Hurling out flaming flares, it ignited the trees that circled the glade. "Fight!" Min shouted at the trees. Otlin called back, "I'm turning towards Micah, or we'll head straight into that scissorlode." As they sped past, Min's heart lifted. In unison, the trees were whipping their smouldering branches like a Mexican wave around the glade. "They're creating a massive counter-whirlwind. It'll make the scissorlode burn in on itself and put out their branches too," Fitlin shouted to the others. The caustic smoke and whirling embers had become almost intolerable. Min and the others were coughing hard. The Glins had clambered onto Otlin's outer feathers. Hanging on for dear life, they beat out the embers as they landed on Otlin's back. Otlin could see very little in front of him. Radiance nearby called out, "Slightly left, Otlin. Duck now. Turn hard right. Up now. You're between 2 branches. Duck again. Fly straight. Fly up. Hard right. Micah is in front of you. Turn towards Scarpel." Min held on with all her strength. Her teeth gritted in a fierce but pleading chant. Please, Palia, please, Great Orb, please, Micah in the bright beyond, please protect these precious trees. They were out in the open now and high above Micah. It was mayhem. Even through the tempestuous, ash-laden smoke, they could see the flames below and ahead. It was hard to make out if they were flying through smoke or embers. Either way, Otlin was twisting and darting to avoid aerial whirlpools of smouldering sparks and flak-like bursts of meteoric coals. They were coming in so fast, Min found it hard to interpret her wings' warnings. Scurrilone? Which way? Left, emberst, in front, not in front, above, coming in from left and above. Otlin, she screamed. Turn hard right now, emberst coming in from the left. Oh no! Scurrilone to the right, fly straight until I tell you to turn right. Yep, Matilda agreed, I think there's one underneath. The blast of the Scurrilone caught Otlin in mid-torso, forcing him to arch his body and drop his head and tail feathers as he flinched from the impact. The glens were hurled upwards. Min's head smashed into the crisscrossed feather shafts which kept her and the others from plummeting off his back. Oof, she grunted as she was thrown onto her back with a thump. The others tumbled around and fell on top of each other, yelping and groaning as they collided with each other. Otlin called back. Are you safe? We're fine, Otlin, Min shouted in response. A bit battered. And you? A little winded. We're above the smoke. You can see Scarple ahead. Fly hard towards her and then dive to find the tunnel. We're holding on. Min had been distracted, searching for Scarple. Then she looked around her. A sob of dread rose in her throat. No, she cried. What she saw was sickening. It had been invisible while they were battled through the thick of the smoke. All across the forest, walls of flame belched high into the mud-grey, dirty twilight. The smoke made it difficult to see how many trees were alight, or whether the fires had reached the new forest. Min continued to stare at the apocalyptic. Min continued to stare at the spectacle, even though the heat was savage. She wept, her tears falling uselessly into Micah below. In the far distance, as they neared Scarple, she heard an extraordinary crash. Was it one of Micah's waves? If it was, she prayed the council trees were merely steaming, not burning. Scarple is coming up. Hold tight, she screamed. Diving, Otlin called. Fitlin had let go of one shaft and was reaching for another when the momentum of the great Megal's dive hurled him off his feet. Frantically reaching for anything to hold on to, Otlin's next evasive twist dislodged him hard against a feather shaft and threw him stunned into the air. Min thrust herself forward to try and halt his fall, then watched in horror as, stunned, he plummeted towards the river.